The events and the unbelievable video footage surrounding the tragic death of a 2-year-old girl in the southern Chinese city of Foshan have shocked viewers around the world. Wang Yue was hit by 2 trucks in a market area and then ignored by over a dozen people as she lay in a pool of blood on the street. She was eventually dragged from the road by a trash collector but died in the hospital due to severe brain injuries. The apparent callousness of those who refuse to help has sparked much media and online discussion about civic values in today's China. So what's the view on the streets of Beijing? How do Chinese people there feel about this apparent cold indifference when faced with strangers in desperate need? Well, our reporter Esther Deng went out onto the streets of Beijing to ask.
What do you think has given rise to this public indifference?
Well,
I feel people seldom put themselves in others' shoes. Just imagine, if the person who'd been knocked down was a family member, what would we do then? Of course we'd offer our help.
I think the main reason is that when you help others, you don't get the reward you deserve. Most of the time, it's not that we aren't willing to help others, but we don't dare to. But as far as I'm concerned, I'll still help others in need of help. But I feel this way of thinking, which involves distancing yourself where there's no personal interest, does exist among a certain number of people. But I still think the majority of our society are good and kind-hearted. If people try to think more about others, I still have confidence in our society.
I feel it's mainly because we've seen so many stories online about people who help those in distress and are then accused of causing the trouble. So for many people, the best way of avoiding this kind of trouble is to be indifferent.
Well, helping those in trouble should be human nature. But I can also understand why so many people are reluctant to help others. You know, we've heard too many stories of Good Samaritans being framed as the culprits. And there's also another dilemma. Even if we do help bring a person to the hospital will refuse to take care of the patient if we don't bring enough money. So what can we do? We can't leave the patient alone, but on the other hand, we also have our own concerns, right?
Well, some people just want to mind their own business, and I feel today's young people are different from our generation and they seldom care about other people's affairs. But I think the biggest reason giving rise to the public's indifference is the media coverage of kind people who don't get what they deserve after helping others. People feel it's so difficult to be good Samaritans. And also I feel the relationship between people nowadays is quite different from the times when we were young. When we were young, we even could leave our house keys with our neighbors. But now people living in high-rises often never even talk to their neighbors. People's relations are too money-oriented. I can't deny that economic reforms have made us wealthier than before, but on the other hand, personal relationships have suffered at the same time.